closed doors of the government and the council. Cover-ups around cures for cancer. Homeless people being denied use of empty buildings. Tax credits cuts being vetoed by the House of Lords, and then the government making moves so that they can overturn that decision by installing more lords. As if we need more lords. You know what we need is to stop thinking about whether we're breaking a minor law every day and start thinking about the type of offences that are being caused upon us by our government. We need to start uniting instead of fighting, please, and uniting against those that are trying to oppress us. We don't need to be shouting at each other, we need to be turning our anger and shouting it at the government, at David Cameron, George Osborne and their dodgy dealings behind closed doors, selling off your public funds, selling out to the Chinese, trying to frap our land, taking away benefits from those that need them most, denying people the cures for cancer and the treatments for other illnesses on the NHS, selling the NHS through the TTIP bill. Nobody's talking about these things, are they? People are still shopping, people are still worried about keeping a roof over their heads, and they haven't got time to think about the corruption that is right here in Manchester and the UK all day, every day. Things like death in police custody, people getting assaulted by the police, people becoming homeless and being evicted because they've got into rent arrears over the bedroom tax. All of these things are affecting us every day, and it's time to speak out. It's either time to speak out or do something about it. There's a lot of initiatives in Manchester at the moment that are taking right off. A group of activists and some homeless people stormed the building and took it. And then the Neville guy, Gary Neville, a famous footballer apparently, he said they could start using it, for free for 12 weeks. And he offered them lots of support. Now he's a big name, famous guy. Why don't some more big name people get involved and start helping us out? Remember, they came from poor to rich. People like that get involved, they can help us to make a difference. So the homeless squat is now going to be functioning in Manchester, and hopefully it might become a hub for people to get help. There's another lot of initiatives out there nowadays as well, like the Anon Street team. They go around taking out food, clothes and other provisions to the homeless guys in Manchester. There's talk about people setting up other types of help for people who are in need. There's a lot of people in poverty who do have a house now, thanks to the corruption of our government, stripping back benefits and entitlements but not creating any more jobs. I mean, I could go on all day, but what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to keep putting up with it, or are you going to start standing up to it?
Standing up.
The more of us do it, the further we can get. We can't just moan about it. If we don't like it, we've got to tell them we don't like it. Maybe you're going to lock yourself up outside the town hall to make a protest, or maybe you'll just send in a letter or an email to your MP. Let's make some noise. Barclays Bank, they shut their doors when we talk about them. But at the end of the day, they fund wars. Did any of us ever ask for a war? No. Does anyone want to fight a war?
No.
Does anybody even know what they go to war for?
Hell no.
Profit. Corruption. And they're spending your tax money to do it.
Rich people seem to want to go to war.
Rich people might want to go to war, but it'll never hurt them, will it? They'll never come out of the forces and be homeless. They'll never get their legs shot off and then get refused benefits. No, they're laughing at you. Why did you put your trust in a government who've never met you, who went to private schools, who were taught how to do this to rule you? Why do you let them rule you? Why don't you think you can think for yourself? Why don't you think we can get together in a group and make the change we want to see? I don't want to have to work 12 hours a day to look after my family. I want a collective where we grow our own food and we help each other out with the skills we've got. Instead of kowtowing to some employer who doesn't even care about you on a 0 hours contract. Pensions, they've been sold. They want you working till you die. And then they want to make sure you've got nothing left for your children. Are you disabled? Or have you got mental health issues? Well, David Cameron wants to take your money. Or he wants you to go to work, so it gives you a nervous breakdown. Yes, he does. The return of the workhouse. Do you want to go back to Victorian times? Victorian illnesses are on the everyone. And I believe we all would choose that if we weren't forced otherwise. Oppression on every council estate in Britain, telling you you have no chances. Taking away the rights that our grandparents did fight for. Telling you that because you're not one of them, you gotta work and work and work and work for them. And when you become ill, they sold the NHS. They are gonna make sure you don't even get free healthcare. What are we gonna end up like? That's why we've got to take the power back. Many cures are available to us right here from nature.
Yes.
We can pick the plants that cure. We can use the cannabis oil, naughty. The government tells me I'm not entitled to cannabis oil on the NHS because weed is dangerous, a gateway drug, while legal highs are sold in every high street and they rip your mind out. Legal highs are no good for anybody, but the government allows them to continue while cannabis is still illegal. I'm calling you out, David Cameron. I'm calling you out, George Osborne and the leaders of Manchester and Salford City Council. I'm telling you now, the people are ready. The people are ready to start thinking for themselves. They are going to do it. Maybe I was few in number 2 years back, but now more and more people are joining in, whether it's here on the street, out in the field against fracking, or just from their home on the internet, getting support for the truth. We know you've been lying, government, about virtually everything, and it's not much longer. Tick tock, people, power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Truth.
Truth.
Life.
Lies.
Good.
Good.